Hey Swifties! Welcome to a brand new episode of Swiftie School, where together we walk Clownelia Street covering the latest news and Easter eggs from our fearless leader, Taylor Swift. I'm your host, Reagan Bailey, and it is enchanting to have you here. Now that we're out of the woods, let's get into today's episode.
It's another great day to be alive at the same time as Taylor Swift. Welcome back to a Drop Everything Now episode because, oh my gosh. Before we get into the episode today, really quickly, just want to walk you guys through how these episodes work. But before we do that, you guys know, disclaimer, this is just an expression of my thoughts and opinions. I am in no way, while I would love to be associated with Taylor Swift or Taylor Nation, associated with them. Now, how the Drop Everything Now episodes work. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. Basically, these episodes are just me, unfiltered, no editing, getting the information out to you on the day when things happen, because I simply cannot wait for Wednesday to come to talk to you guys about all of the crazy Swiftivities that literally went down. London, night 1, night 2, night 3. Now, today has literally been consumed for me with talking about this topic, so I am so excited to finally sit down and chat with you guys about it, because as you guys know, I do reporting on Taylor Swift for Access Hollywood, kind of on like a speed dial situation. Whenever anything crazy happens, me and the producer either text or email back and forth. We plan, if there's room for us to fit in a segment about all things Taylor related, we do. And then I go in the following morning. Like, sometimes we're literally coordinating this at midnight and I have to be there at 8 a.m. the next morning. Like, it's totally chaos and crazy. But let's be real. You guys know I function best when all things are chaotic and crazy, as does Mother. So let's just dive right into the London shows. Pure chaos, I tell you. I feel like she literally listens to everything that we say on this podcast, because I was just telling you guys, and I was talking with my team too. I was telling them, like, things have been a little bit slow. Like, I really don't even know what to talk about. I was coming up with like kind of obscure topics, trying to do deep dives on like people in Taylor adjacent ways and all that jazz. So I'm so glad that Taylor had so much in store for London and kind of gave us a little rocket boost underneath our booties, if you know what I mean, because we needed it, to say the least. Now, first and foremost, before we get into the obvious, aka Travis, not Taylor. Taylor being on stage is a given. Travis being on stage, I want to talk about the sheer number of celebrities in attendance at these shows, because what's going on? Am I just living under a rock, and does every celebrity ever live in London? Do they all vacation in London during the month of June? Is there some sort of festival going on that I don't know about? I know that there's Fashion Week happening. Is it in Paris? Some sort of Fashion Week shows, Vogue World or something fashion related. I don't think it's Fashion Week, is going on there in Europe somewhere. So I'm like, maybe a lot of them were in town for that and then popped over to London. Not totally sure. But the fact that we had literally the most star-studded, I was going to say cast of the Eras Tour, attendees of the Eras Tour, is mind-boggling. Like 10 times more than Los Angeles. I have a list somewhere someone sent to me of like, we've got Hugh Grant, we have Rachel Ziegler, we have Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, John Bon Jovi. Like, obviously Paul McCartney was bananas.com. Like, the Kelces, Jason and Kylie, Taylor Swift's parents were both in attendance. Most interestingly, Taylor's brother, Austin, who we've talked about how we barely know anything about the man, Austin was in attendance. I don't know if Taylor sent out a text blast to everybody and was like, hey, these shows are going to be lit. Like, make sure to tune in. I'm not sure if everybody just happened to be free, what was going on, but I was gobsmacked by the amount of celebrities and the amount of viral, memeable content that is coming out of this past weekend will literally carry us for the next 2-3 years. I feel like there was a pop culture shift that happened at these London shows, specifically starting with my birthday, which, thank you, Taylor, for the fun birthday gift. My birthday was Friday. Thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes. Friday, June 21st, I kind of figured something would be in store outside of the single from Gracie Abrams' new album titled Us that Taylor was featured on, because June 21st is a big day astrologically, and we know Taylor loves astrology, loves numerology, loves all the things. And June 21st is summer solstice, the first day of summer, which it's also known as, quote, the longest day of the year, if you will, basically meaning that it's like the longest day of sunlight throughout the year. So I kind of thought maybe she would like want to tinker with that. I also think there was a full moon a Friday or Saturday, but it was really fun because Prince William, the literal future of the monarchy, the future king himself, was literally shaking it off. Like, I feel like I forgot about what happened on Friday. The royals were in attendance. We had 2 out of the 3 children of William and Kate. George and Charlotte were in attendance. Louis was not. He's the youngest. I believe he's 6 years old, most likely at home with Kate. I hope that she's doing well. But it was just so refreshing, like whether or not you care about the royal family or not. I really believe that everybody deserves happiness in this lifetime, especially people who are continually scrutinized. And I feel that it's incredibly difficult to be in the spotlight. And I myself, as a creator who puts content out online, while it is 1/1,000,000th of a fraction of the scrutiny or the vulnerability that it takes to be a public figure, I at least resonate on some teeny tiny level to these people who constantly have eyeballs on them. So all that to say, I am just genuinely really happy that those children got to have quality time with their father and that Prince William was able to just be a normal human being and attend a concert. I feel like it's really rare that they are able to just like participate in like a public activity like that and kind of just let their hair down. Like the fact that they literally took selfies is actually groundbreaking. Like, I know that sounds like not a huge deal, but the royal family is literally not allowed to take selfies. Like, it's a long-standing thing that they don't take selfies. Like, they don't take public photos. Like, they're always photographed, but they don't engage with the public in photos. So for them to just like snap a random selfie with Taylor, let alone this be the hard launch of Taylor and Travis's relationship, is actually something that it's going to take me 13 business days to comprehend. Like, that's insane. I'm just going to leave that there. But the reason I mentioned my birthday in the first place is because me and Prince William share the same birthday. So that is how he spent his birthday on Friday with his children, making core memories. I'm so happy for them. I think it was such a incredible moment for them. And then switching gears to the incredible moment that it was for Taylor and Travis. I have no idea what Taylor thinks of the royal family, nor does that really matter. This is just a massive accomplishment for her in general, and I feel like Taylor has catapulted herself into the same category of, like, elite status as, like, our world leaders at this point. I'm gonna go as far as sound like a crazy person by saying that. I know people will disagree with me, but I genuinely feel like it's child's play to even put her in the same category as other pop artists or other singers at this point. Like, this woman is a philanthropist. This woman is, like, garnering connections that I would argue our own government struggles to make. Like, this is next level crazy. And I feel like this weekend, tell me if you guys think I'm being dramatic or if I'm riding the high a little too much. This weekend, in my opinion, changed the rest of her career trajectory. Like, I can't even, jumping back to the celebrities, like the fact that Paul McCartney was there, just bebopping around the stadium, dancing in the crowd, not in the VIP tent, in the crowd with random fans, is actually something I can't wrap my brain around. Like, the man from the Beatles is just chilling in the audience dancing to Shake It Off. I'm just gonna let that settle in. I saw this crazy TikTok. It's fantastic. If I remember to link it, I will. Basically, this TikTok said that so many people are hard-pressed saying Taylor is so, she's dominating the charts. She's releasing all of these different CDs, all these different vinyls. She's making it difficult for other artists to chart, yada, yada, yada. Quite frankly, I think that it's all deserved. And if people are going to buy it and consume her content and stream and purchase, then so be it. She can put out as much as she wants. And if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But the reason she keeps doing it is because obviously people keep engaging with it. So why not? But they made an interesting comparison in this TikTok to the Beatles and said that the Beatles, throughout their entire duration of putting out music, they had something like 51 different versions of their albums. They put together like their greatest hits. They put together compilations, their version of their anthology that they did. They put out 51 total different versions. So it's not crazy that Taylor would take a page out of their book because she is currently competing. And I feel like this is a whole nother podcast episode I need to do. She is currently competing to be, not competing, but she's in the running to be the most streamed artist of all time. She is now in the top 10. I think she took the 10th spot. And the only other female ahead of her, you know what? Actually, I think she's in like spot number 6 or 7. The only other female ahead of her as the most streamed female of all time is Madonna. And right now, the people that Taylor is competing with, none of them were even born. She was the only person born after the year of 1980. So the fact that she is born in 1989, almost in the 90s, and she has catapulted herself into this crazy, crazy statistic of being amongst Michael Jackson, the Beatles, Madonna, Elton John. I think those are the people ahead of her. She will be a trend based on her trends with her numbers. She'll actually be in the top like 3 by the end of next year, which is absolutely crazy. So all that to say, she will be the most streamed artist of all time, and before she passes, which is so crazy. I mean, she'll be that in the next 2-3 years, give or take. I mean, we're just seeing something crazy happen, and I genuinely mean it when I say, how lucky are we? How lucky are we to be alive at the same time as witnessing this? Like the same way people felt really lucky to be alive at the same time the Beatles. Like, I feel so excited for this woman, and if she ever listens to this, like, I am so, it can literally bring tears to my eyes. Like, I just feel so excited for womanhood in general. For us to have a role model like her during our lifetime is actually a gift, and I am just so incredibly happy for her and grateful. Now, speaking of the gift Taylor keeps giving, I don't even feel like I have processed the song Us yet. I absolutely love this song. I'll be quite frank, I've never indulged much in Gracie Abrams' discography. I like her music, I have no problem with it, but the reason I think that this song really resonates with Swifties currently is it was produced by, there's producer credits on Gracie Abrams' new album, The Secrets of Us, with Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner. So if you listen to my past podcast episodes or you're a part of Patreon where I did my bonus episode on Aaron Dessner, you know Taylor obviously has a relationship with them, clearly, and I feel like there's a little bit of influence there with this new album. So if you like Torture Poets Department, you like Folklore, Evermore, check out Gracie's new album. And if you like, obviously, the song Us, I think you're going to like the other songs. I personally really like the song Risk. I know a lot of you guys said that as well. And it was really fun to see these guest collaborations happen on stage with Hayley Williams performing Castles Crumbling, with Gracie coming out and performing Us. Taylor mentioned that Gracie Abrams flew all the way out just to perform this song with her, which I thought was really cool. And obviously, who wouldn't if you were given that opportunity? Excellent PR and marketing move. Now, speaking of PR and marketing move, you guys know I went to college. I have a degree in business management communications with PR concentration. So I am fascinated and obsessed with all things marketing. I also don't talk about it much, but I also own a marketing agency and I have several clients that I do marketing for. So I like being on the side of being an influencer, but also being behind the scenes and doing marketing for people because I feel like I see and understand both worlds. And I'm always just fascinated by the work of publicists. I'm always fascinated by marketing campaigns, and Taylor's marketing to me is just absolutely something that we need to be studying for years to come. And an interesting note when it comes to PR is that I don't think it goes missed that the Scooter Braun documentary, that of course it was like produced by TMZ or something, so it's garbage and I wouldn't even recommend wasting your time watching it. But a TMZ-esque documentary covering all things Scooter Braun and Taylor and their re-record kind of debacle, if you will, just came out on Friday, June 21st. And so it was really interesting that it was dumb on their part to align it with the London shows because obviously Taylor was going to show up and show out for these London shows, but it was genius on Taylor's part to go hard with all things PR this past weekend with the photo with the royals, with the guest stars on stage, with all the celebrities in attendance, inviting her friends, with Travis coming out. I think it was really beautiful, whether it was planned or not, PR-wise, it kind of squashed any sort of buzz that documentary would have gotten said nothing if nothing were to have happened this past weekend, if you're catching my drift. Now let's just get into the obvious. I can't hold it any longer. Travis coming out on stage is perhaps the most unhinged pop culture moment I think to ever happen. Arguably the most unhinged pop culture crossover moment. I feel like it is now undeniable that the NFL fans cannot escape us, and it's quite literally because their player is on our turf. So game on, boys. And girls, if there's any out there. But game on is what I have to say, because I would put money on the fact the Chiefs will now reciprocate. Whether Taylor sings the national anthem at a game, whether Taylor is like running through the tunnel with them, heck, I don't even care if they throw her in. Put a uniform on the girl and let her throw a ball. I could care less. But I feel like now we have like opened the waters for a little crossover to happen on Taylor's side. Whether it's just her continuing to be on the field during games, whatever it might be, I am just so in love with this man. And the fact that he is just so down to clown and so down to just ham it up and like match her energy. If you guys have heard that viral audio all over social media that's like, is somebody gonna match my freak? Somebody gonna match my freak? Basically like saying, is anybody out there gonna like get to my level, vibe with me, meet me where I am at energy wise? And I feel like Travis literally does just that. But my mind is swirling with questions and thoughts. Like, I'm dying to know, when did this conversation initiate? Whose idea was it? How quickly were the costumes pulled together? Were those custom Louboutins made for him, or were they off the rack, like from the store? Was he nervous? Was he excited? Was it always going to be night 3? Did he end up chickening out night 1 and night 2? And then night 3, he was like, all right, I got to do it. Is this a one and done situation? Will we see him again? I'm dying to know. Was there rehearsals? Were the dancers in on this, or did they not know until the last second? I am just swirling, and I'm dying to hear on the Wednesday New Heights podcast if I already know. You and I both know Jason will bring this up, but I'm dying to know if we'll get any little tidbit of information. Speaking of crossovers, put my money on it. By the end of the year, we will have Taylor on the New Heights podcast. It'll break the internet. It'll break the internet, and I'm dying to have her on. Whether it's like when they kick off NFL season. By the way, does New Heights run through the NFL season, or do they do it in like seasons when they're I need to look into it further. But a crossover with the NFL and New Heights. I'm putting it out there. I'm also putting out there that I can make it an official job title of mine to be a Taylor Swift expert, because I have so much fun reporting on this live on TV. And if you guys see my Access Hollywood segment, make sure to tag me, because I had so much fun clowning with the producers and the team. And obviously, there's nothing more natural and fun than talking about something you're passionate about in front of a camera. So putting that energy out there, if anybody's a producer or looking to hire a Taylor Swift expert, you know where to find me. Oh, gosh. Well, I feel like that's just the grazing the surface of the recap of the weekend. And I cannot wait to see what is in store for us next. I'm dying to know whether you're watching this on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and drop me a comment if you are. I want to hear your favorite moment from the weekend. I feel like it definitely aligns with that viral audio of like, another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Because it was just one thing after the other. And I still feel like every time I forget, like, oh, Travis came out on stage. Oh, the Royals were there. Oh, wait, we just got on stage collaborations. Oh, she has a new song. Like, I'm just like swirling, and I need time to process it. So thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to our newest Patreon member. We have 4 different tiers over there, and Julia is our newest member of the senior tier. We just had a clown call on Sunday. If you guys are interested in clowning with me further, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Swiftie School. It's a great way to support me, the podcast, and all my efforts that I put into my daily Taylor Swift content across all of my social channels. And of course, here, I would love for you guys to support me and join the conversation over there. We've got group chats. We've got freebies that come out on the 1st of the month. On the 15th, I do bonus Patreon podcast episodes. So if you join, you actually have access to all of the archived episodes from the past months. And what else do we have? Clown calls. So much happening over there. Exclusive giveaways. I just gave away a really cute notebook. So make sure to check that out. Patreon.com/Swiftie School. Thank you so much for joining today's episode of Drop Everything Now. Meet me in the Swiftie School podcast. Woo-hoo. Thanks for joining. I love you guys. Don't forget to rate and review, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. I know all too well how busy life can be, and I am so grateful that you chose to stay. Now just know this is me trying, and I would greatly appreciate if you took a minute to leave a review or maybe share this episode with a fellow Swiftie. Make sure you join my broadcast channel on Instagram for more Swiftivities, and long story short, this love is real, and I'm beyond grateful for your support. See you next time.